Hey there! Today we're gonna work on some cast iron.
Tammy said don't try to make me perky.
So that I don't waste a whole lot of money, because how I do it is I use a vinegar bath. And we're just gonna lay them down in there, as many as I can fit. Yeah, no.
She's not perky right now.
I'm not really perky, okay? This was the worst idea ever. Now these four, I'm going to use the oven cleaner on the outside. Hey there, welcome to our channel and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to talk about a cast iron catastrophe. No lie. My son asked me, it's been almost a month now. He called and he had left some cast iron out at the hunting camp. And he said, Mom, I think it's ruined. And he says, I'm probably just going to throw it away. Can you fix it? And I'm like, yeah, I guarantee you I can fix it. You're not throwing cast iron away. If you don't want it, bring it over here and I'll clean it up for me. Whatever, but we'll get it fixed. Well, that's fine. That would have been not a big deal. But then I had the bright idea to go ahead and do mine while I was at it. I ended up doing 17 pieces of cast iron all the way back down to their original top and bottom. It has been an absolute nightmare. Some of them that were mine, on the inside they were glass. I mean, they were, they were really, really glassy on the inside. But I didn't really worry so much about anything on the outside, so it was pretty rough. But I didn't realize how rough till I started to try to clean it. And it eventually got to be such a chore that I asked Randy to help me. Or actually, he asked me, did I need him to help me, because I was sitting out there about to squall. I just had just about enough. So anyway, he's gonna come and sit down with me and we're gonna talk about all the things we did to get this cast iron back to perfect.
Okay, first order of business. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary. That's so funny. We didn't realize till about an hour ago today was our anniversary.
Yep, March 21st, 2024. How about that?
Yep, 36 years.
Yep, 36 years of magical bliss.
Yeah.
Okay. Tammy wants me to help kind of narrate her, and I'm just going to kind of guide her through this, okay? It's a complicated process, and there was a lot that was involved with it, because we started off doing one thing, and then we did another, and then we did another, until we came to a final conclusion that turned Tammy's Dutch oven into this wonderful masterpiece.
Yeah.
She bought this when we first got married.
Yeah.
That was what, 36
years ago.
36 years ago.
At least 35 years ago. I bought
and it is
pot.
absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the way it looks to me, you could put that on a Walmart shelf and somebody'd buy it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't want to override Tammy's. I don't know how to say this. Okay. Well, the way she did her cast iron in the past, it was always a simple cleaning.
Yeah, I just cleaned it real good.
And she
took it down and refired it in the oven. No big deal.
Yeah, and but now she didn't give them a deep cleaning. For about the last 10 years. Yeah. So she's been using them out here in the deep woods in North Florida for the last 10 years, just doing her regular cleaning spells. Well, when she initially learned how to do cast iron cleaning, she used a few processes and they worked for her. Why don't you explain to them what those were?
I just used like, depending on, I never did more than 1 or 2 pieces, maybe 3. At any given time is all I ever did at one time. So I would just take a nice sized good pot or bucket or whatever they would fit in, and I would just drop them down in vinegar and water, like a 50-50 split of vinegar and water. So if I had a gallon of vinegar, I had a gallon of water. And I would just soak them for a couple days, pull them out, clean them up, oil them and fire them, and I'm done.
Yes. So anyway, she got one of our big tubs, okay, and she started, and she filled it with vinegar, and she filled it with water. It was what was the mixture? 50-50?
Yeah, it was a 50-50 mix.
Right.
I had 3 gallons of, or maybe I started with 2. Maybe it was 2 gallons of vinegar and 2 gallons of water.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Okay, and but and to take the deep cleaning, and she put the nicer pots in that didn't look like they needed.
Yeah, that didn't really need.
And then she took the more heavily baked on pots. Okay. And then I made a little table for her out here, which you guys have seen, are going to see in just about 2 seconds.
Yeah. And I sprayed them with oven cleaner. At the outside, not the inside, just the outside, just, to get that outside surface stuff off. I sprayed oven cleaner. My oven cleaner didn't touch it. Didn't touch it. I scrubbed and I scrubbed and I scrubbed. Sprayed them again. Let it sit. It wasn't budging.
Yeah, she was kind of hoping that it would eat up the crud on the outside of the pot. And then you could, take them, wash them, and be done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you didn't want to get them totally reconditioned, that might have been okay.
Yeah,
but you'd have had bumpily,
fine.
crumbly looking cast iron. Okay, because that stuff was 1/4 of an inch on the outside on some of them.
Yeah. Well,
or at least an 1/8 of an inch.
I'm not cooking on the outside. I'm just wiping that down all the time.
Right.
And I don't use soap on my cast iron. Even though they say now that you can, I still don't use soap. I just rinse them out. That's all you need to do. Rinse them out, wipe them off, put them up.
Yeah, but the way it actually ended up working out is she was outside here scrubbing with that fine steel wool like everybody tells you to use. And she was scrubbing and scrubbing, and she's saying it won't come off. It won't come off. I can't get them clean. I mean, she's saying that she doesn't care what the outside looks like, but I'll tell you what, that day, she did. Okay. And so I had gone in and I had done a little bit of research, and she was out here just scrubbing away. I wasn't going to stop her, because anything I suggested got thrown out the window. Okay. And yeah, it did. Anyway, so I got another bright idea. I thought that after, we sprayed them with oven cleaner again, and we left the others in the vinegar soaking, and I had her get another couple of gallons of vinegar, and so we doubled the vinegar and the water. And I said, well, okay, that's going to take care of it, right? So we put the pots back in the water, and we took the lid off, and we seen it.
Bubble, bubble, bubble.
Yeah. It was a bubbling away. It was activated, and it looked like it was working on the pots. Well, the first time we let them soak, how long did you let them soak?
The first time was 1 day, and then I let them sit another 2 days.
And that didn't work.
Then I let them sit 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
But you would think that the vinegar was working, because when they were in there for that long, they were building up bubbly foam all around the edges of the pots in the water. So, you would think that it was eating, the crud off the side of the pots. Well, we took them out, scrubbed them with steel wool. It didn't touch them. I don't know what was causing the bubbling. It's supposed to be an acidic bath, but it didn't work. So I went, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, as a guy, you know, I'm going to break out some power tools.
Right.
Okay, so I went and I got a wire brush for the end of my screw gun. And I went out there and I started working on it. Well, guess what? It looked like it was going to do the job. And I was sitting there scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, and she would hold the pot. I'd, you know, run the wire brush around the edges, and it was coming off. It was doing good. But that was only effective on a lot of the lighter spots or areas on the pots. When you got into the heavier stuff, it was horrible. It didn't work. Yeah, and I would push and push and push, and I actually cracked. I didn't break, but I actually, I put a hairline crack on the drill from pushing down on it, okay? And so I said, this ain't working. No. Okay, and then, you know, through my research, you know, I thought of another process. And Tammy said, absolutely not. No. Okay, so I said, okay, fine. You know, threw the pots back in the vinegar and water and let them soak another 3-4 days. Pulled the lid out, pulled the pots and pans out, went to scrubbing on them. And she's out here sitting on her cinder block, just going to town, and whining the whole time.
Yeah, I was. I ain't gonna lie, I was whining.
You whining?
My arms hurt. That was a workout. You want to work out? Clean some cast iron.
So tell them what I suggested we do.
Yeah, he said we should throw them in the fire. I'm like, oh no, they say that'll warp. They said if you throw it down in there in that fire like that, you're going to warp those pans. I don't want warped pans. I've had these pans too long and they're too expensive to replace, and I don't want to do that. Said, well, okay, fine. Soak them.
Yeah, go ahead and soak them, scrub them. You know? So I gave up on the idea of actually, you know, cooking them.
Yeah.
You know, you cook a pot that cooks your food, but you cook them in a fire.
Right.
And there wasn't no way she was going to let that happen. And then a fishing buddy came on, a fellow commercial crabber, let's just put it that way, came over, and Tammy was out there just scrubbing away. And he goes, what are you doing? She says, I'm cleaning my cast iron. He said, you just need to build you a fire and throw them in fire.
It'll take all that off and you won't have to scrub.
And Tammy, oh, now get this now. Okay, so I say let's throw it in the fire. We're not.
I said, well, you know, they say it'll warp. He said, that stuff's been around for hundreds of years. It ain't gonna warp. They used to cook in fire too. It's fine. And he's like 80.
He's 70 something, 75.
No, he's closer
to 80. He's 75, 76.
Anyway, he's older than us.
Yeah, he's older than us. And so finally, I got authorization.
No, he still didn't get authorization. He just said, give me them pots. And he took them over there and chunked them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I said, give me them things.
Give me them pots.
So anyway, I've been out working on my fire pit, guys, and I had a pile of stuff that needed to be burned. So it was perfect timing. So I go out, light the fire, I grab all the cast iron, and I threw it right there on top of that fire.
Right on in
right on top. And Tammy's looking at it and she's going,
oh, he's right.
You know, she was scared. You know, because she'd heard the stories of whatever, okay? And, you know, once they were on the fire, I threw some more branches and more leaves and stuff on there and cooked them. We let that sit overnight, woke up the next day, walked outside, you know, I took the cast iron over to her and I brushed all the crud.
Yeah, he just took his hand and all of it came
and
off.
It all flaked off.
All I had to do after he got done burning them was wash them.
Wash them. You know, well, she washed them with the steel wool pad, but she got them clean.
Yeah, but I mean,
it didn't take much of nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And now, one thing she was worried about is because every time she would scrub it, it would oxidize
Yeah.
like almost immediately.
Yeah, it would almost immediately oxidize, and that's
and it would turn red, and she couldn't get it to stop.
Yeah, I could.
But what happened is, you know, she got it to a certain point, and then coated it with the oil.
And the flax oil, I use flaxseed oil because
Yeah.
it has a high smoke point.
Yep.
And I just went ahead and fired it.
And the red
disappeared.
disappeared.
It was gone. So.
But we actually ended up cooking, you know, the pots and pans overnight, and then there was a couple of them that I didn't actually have up in the fire.
Yeah, they weren't. I guess they didn't get hot enough or weren't up in the fire.
Well, the pots on the inside of the fire, they came clean, but the edges on the outside didn't. Okay, so I had to recook a couple extra pots. But honestly and truly, if we'd have just took these out
and done it, just put them
cooked them in
in
the fire overnight, we'd have scrubbed them the next day, oiled them, and
they'd have been done.
Done. Now, what she did is she used our toaster oven.
I have my little toaster oven, so all the ones that would fit in the toaster oven, I just one at a time, put them in there for an hour.
Yeah, while we're working, it cook an hour.
I just let it cook an hour, let it totally cool down, or I take it out and put another one in, and I eventually fired everything twice that would fit. If it didn't fit, my neighbor, bless her heart, let me use her oven, and
Yeah.
I took them next door, which meant I got to visit for an hour and a half anyway, and that was fun.
Yeah,
So,
she got to go over and visit our neighbor. They're very elderly.
yeah, they're elderly, and they you know, they call us when they need something, or you know, every once in a while they'll call us and tell us to come out with dinner with them, and you know, they're just really nice people.
So anyway, you guys saw the pictures. Here's another presentation. Dutch ovens, spotless.
Everything is spotless.
Everything
is spotless.
Spotless. And
I've used 2 of the pans in between getting them done and this video. They are perfect. I fried. You know, the best thing to do with cast iron too is to fry something in it. Put you a good bit of lard in there. Fry you some chicken, some French fries, some tater logs, whatever you want to fry in there. Go ahead and do that, because that's just another layer. You know?
Yeah.
And all I had to do was wait for the oil, my lard to cool, dump it out, wipe it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Not a single stick. They're. Yeah, I'm happy, and I won't have to do that again.
And if we ever do it again, guess how we're going to do it.
Yeah, no, I'll die before this cast iron ever needs fired again.
Yeah,
Ever.
I'll be the judge of that. I really wanted her to have some nice looking cast iron. You know, when I saw her out there,
it was good looking.
when I seen her out there scrubbing all that crud and stuff like that, I'm looking at it and I go, no. No.
Yeah, but he's a perfectionist.
Well, I'm not a perfectionist.
Yeah,
it's just that, you know, if you're going to do it, you need to do it right. And you need to get it done. And you got to do the best job that you can.
I was going to do the best job I can, make sure that inside where I'm cooking is good. That's where I
the best that
want
you
to
can goes about as far as your ability to scrub.
The scrub goes.
When she can't scrub no more, yep, that's the best I can do.
Yep.
But we got her cleaned up, and now you know the rest of the story. So anyway, you guys have a great one, and we're going to let you go, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
We're out.